Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Josephina and today I'm going to be sharing my 2022 garden plan. So I've had some people ask me how I go about planning my garden. This is going to be my second year, so I am by no means a teacher, an expert, or someone that really knows what they're doing. But I'm super excited to start. I cannot wait to get those seeds in some soil and to see little plants getting started in the house, ready to be transplanted outside. All right, so here I've got laid out all of my seeds and my garden plants for the year. So the first thing that I do whenever I am getting ready to start planting things is to make a list of everything that I want to grow for the year. Then from there, I draw an outline of what my garden currently looks like. So far, I have just these and these beds, and we're working on wood chipping the garden as it is right now. And we're almost done. We've got the wood chips all the way here. And so this weekend, my husband and I are gonna work on wood chipping out the rest of this. And then I will be putting together the raised beds that I have ordered from Amazon, these 5. I will be putting those together and sharing a video when I do that. I draw it out in pen so that I can then go in and write in what currently already is in the garden. So for example, right now I currently have onions, garlic, and then these red roses, this yarrow, these flowers all growing in the garden at the moment. So then from there, I start one by one filling in where I think I'm gonna want these planted. And the reason that I have the outline in pen is so that when I come in with pencil to write in where I want everything planted, I can erase as I need to and adjust and move things around. And if I go and erase one of the words, then I don't have to worry that I've erased the outline and get frustrated with myself. So once I've got the list done and my plans drawn out, then I move on to researching, whether that's through Google, YouTube, or this handy dandy garden planner that I got myself last fall. I go through and I find out first what my last frost date is. Then I go through and I research when it is that each one of these plants needs to be planted. So some of them will tell me that it needs to be 4 to 6 weeks before the first frost, 8 to 10 weeks before the first frost, 2 weeks after the first frost. So I find out when each one needs to be started or directly sown, and then I write them out in a list and I write the dates next to each one of them. Once I've done all that, then I condense it down into a list that makes it easier for me to look at. So I know that my first frost date is going to be April 2nd. I give myself an extra week because last year I did things according to the frost date, and then I ended up having tomatoes and peppers that came out too early, and I was having to put blankets on things for several nights. And so just to give myself a little bit of extra room, I am adding a week to it and basing everything off of the April 9th date. Also, I've got a planter that I got for Christmas. It's a tiered planter and it's got 30 pockets in it. And so I've gone through and done the math on how many of each one of these plants that I want to start. So while I do have a ton of seeds here that I want to grow, my biggest focus this year and my goal for myself is to be really successful at growing peppers. Last year, my biggest goal for myself, because it was my first year gardening, was just to grow something. I just wanted something to grow and to grow well. And oh my God, like these plants and the garden just completely blew me away because so much grew. So this year, the goal is to be really good at growing peppers. And the reason that I want to grow peppers is because these are some of the chiles that I often use in my cooking. I've got some chile Nuevo Mexico, some chile pasilla, some ancho chile, and some guajillo. Guajillo is the one that I definitely use the most in my kitchen. And so my big goal was to be able to grow all of these so that I no longer have to go to the store and constantly buy these $5 to $10 bags. Whereas I spent about $2.50 on each pack of these seeds. And these seeds are gonna go a long way as long as I am careful with my plants and really keep an eye on that to make sure that I grow these really well. So I've got some guajillo, and with the guajillo, I plan on drying as many as I can and having this lovely look happening in my kitchen. This is something that I have dreamed about for a really long time, of having some beautiful peppers just drying, hanging from the ceiling or wherever in my kitchen I can find a space. And I cannot wait. I'm gonna make it happen, guys, even if I struggle. I've got puya peppers that I also plan on drying. Anaheim peppers I plan on drying as well as using fresh. Pasilla is a pepper I also plan on drying. Chile de árbol, both fresh and dry. Hatch peppers, those I'm gonna plan on drying. And then I've also got some paprika peppers that I want to dehydrate so that I can have some paprika powder. I've also got some pimento peppers that I just want for eating fresh or cooking, eating in salads, snacking on. And poblano peppers. I absolutely love using poblano peppers, whether that's to make sauces, roasting, just to mix into different sides or main dishes, stuffing for chiles rellenos, or in the dried version, it's chile ancho, and that goes so well in so many different sauces. I'm really excited about those. I've also got jalapenos, and I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to accomplish it because again, my main focus is growing and just hang drying them. But I would really like to try to smoke some of them prior to drying so that I can get some chile chipotle. My second big focus is going to be on tomatoes and tomatillos. I'm going to try some of these for the first time. From what I've read, these are a meaty tomato and they don't have a ton of that gel inside of them. I don't really like fresh tomatoes. I don't mind them so much when they're mixed in things like guacamole, or if it's in a salad that's just like chopped up enough and mixed in well. But I love any kind of tomato product. So the salsas, cooked tomatoes, sauces, anything with cooked tomato, I absolutely love. And so I wanted to have a tomato that didn't have a ton of that juice in it and more of the meat. And from what I read, these are the way to go. So I'm gonna give these a shot. I've also got Roma tomatoes, but I realized today that I don't have them. I lost my seeds somehow, which, oh no, that means I have to order more seeds. So I did. I ordered some more seeds and I threw in some Mammoth sunflower seeds in there. I'm so excited about those. But I'm also going to be growing some tomatillos, and I'm going with the purple and just the regular old green ones. Last year, I grew the green ones, and the plants, these were my most successful summer plant. They grew so big, so fast. I even had one snap in half because my dog got a little too excited around it. And when I tied it back up, it continued to grow as if nothing ever happened, and it gave me so many fruit. But then the leaf-footed bugs came, and the leaf-footed bugs decided that the tomatillos were their favorite. And so all of my hand picking and killing them with scissors and trying to get rid of them just didn't happen. And so I had to make the decision to just go ahead and pull out my tomatillo plants. And so I had a bunch of baby tomatillos and they were delicious. So I'm hoping this year I can get those leaf-footed bugs under control so that I can enjoy way more tomatillos than I had before. With these, I want to freeze, I want to can, I want to make salsa, I want to make sauces, I want to roast them and can them that way, freeze them whole. I use a lot of these, and so I really want to get these right this year. Same with the tomatoes. My plan with the Roma and with these is to freeze a lot of them whole, because I found that in a lot of the recipes, especially Mexican food recipes, I need a lot of tomatoes that end up just being boiled or blended whole. And so having them frozen whole was really helpful for me. I wish I had frozen more, but I didn't. And so this year I plan on growing more tomatoes so that I have the option of having them frozen whole in the freezer, as well as making sauces, roasting them and pureeing them and canning them that way, and enjoying them fresh as much as possible. Ground cherries and cucamelons were my daughter and I's favorite garden snacks, so I am growing these purely for going to the garden and pulling them off the vines and the plants and just eating them just as they are. These are absolutely delicious, and I love these so much. My daughter and I would take them and then slice them in half and put some tahini on them. It is literally just a cucumber that already has the lime, and so then tahini touch on it. My mouth is watering just thinking about it. I'm also going to be growing some zucchini for the first time, and I am terrified just because of the bug issue that I had last year. I live on a property that is now just a year old. So a year ago, this was completely wooded and all the bugs and all the wildlife were enjoying it as it was. And so bugs are definitely an issue, and I won't be getting my chickens this year because I had to come to the responsible realization that I need to save money to be able to get the materials and the tools that I need to be able to build the chicken coop that I want, because buying a chicken coop already made right now, that hurt my feelings. Like, it really hurt my feelings. So I'm gonna be saving money this year, and I'm just gonna be focusing on the expansion of the garden that I'm doing right now and getting these peppers grown and focusing all my efforts on bug killing, because I do organic gardening, and so I don't want to be spraying with chemicals that get rid of all of the good guys that I want in my garden, all the bees and the wasps and the ladybugs and all of those things that I do want in the garden. I don't want to drive those out, and I also don't want to be putting any kind of pesticides on the things that we eat. I've also got tons of flowers and herbs that I plan on growing for the prettiness of it and for the health benefits of a lot of these things, because it made the garden feel like it was not just a bunch of work during those days where it was like super duper hot and I was having to deal with bugs. It was nice to have all of the pretty things and all the pretty flowers, that if the fruit wasn't producing on my plants, or it wasn't producing well, or it was getting eaten by bugs, the flowers were doing amazing, and getting to cut those and bring those in the house was just, it was so much more than I thought it was gonna be. I've got things like some China jade cucumber, some slippery silk beans, pink celery, spinach, arugula, romaine, butter, merlot, and these cute things. I'm so excited to try these out this year. I literally bought them only because it's called a Tigger melon and it looks like that. Hopefully it's good. Hopefully it's delicious. I'll find out. But how pretty is it going to be to have these little orange globes chilling, hanging from a trellis while I'm in a hammock laying under them, and hopefully one does not fall on my head, but I get to enjoy just the view of it all. Like, I also plan on growing significantly more roselle than I did last year. Along with the mammoth sunflowers that I ordered today, I've also got some autumn beauty sunflowers and some chocolate cherry sunflowers. And I plan on growing a lot more, as you can see, I've already used this, but I plan on growing a lot more rattlesnake pole beans. Same with the black beans. So if I end up being successful with all of these things and all of these ingredients, then I can hopefully pump out some more cooking videos for you guys, so you can see things go from my garden to my kitchen and to my table. So that's it for today's video. I just wanted to show you guys what I have planned so far, and as I go about doing each step, I'm gonna make sure to film the process and share it with you guys so that you guys can see my journey from start to finish for the year 2022. I'm really nervous, honestly. I feel like I've got all those feelings coming back of like, I'm gonna suck at this, I'm not gonna be able to start these things properly, I'm not gonna be able to grow any of this, the bugs are gonna come at me. All the negative feelings are rolling in, but I am going to continue to push those aside and keep chugging along with this. I believe in myself, I am a determined person, I'm gonna try, and even if I fail, I know that I can try again anyways. So I hope you're willing to stick around with me on this journey to becoming a homesteader. I'll see you guys soon in the next video.